What's up, guys? This is a day recap of my Japan trip from my time in Kyoto. Sorry for the bit of the delay, had a lot of things going on. And I'm going to do something different in this video. Instead of me doing a recap of one day, I'm just going to do a recap of my whole time in Kyoto. I'm going to do this for the rest of the series. So I spent 3 days, 2.5 days really, in Kyoto. Day 5 was when I actually left the Mount Fuji area and got on a highway bus and got to Shizuoka base station, where I caught the bullet train from there all the way to Kyoto. The bullet train is actually really fast. I'll give you a bit of a context. It would probably take maybe 8 hours, I believe, to catch a bus from the Mount Fuji Kawaguchiko Lake area all the way to Kyoto. Maybe even longer, but it only took about 3 hours, including stops for the bullet train to get from the Shizuoka area to Kyoto. So I got to Kyoto, and once I got there, I caught another train to Nijo Station. And from there, the house that I was renting through Airbnb was only about a 3-minute walk away. The host posted a video for me which actually showed a walking way how to get to the house, and it was pretty simple finding the house from there. I was the only one staying at the apartment, so I had to buy groceries, and he gave me a nice map of the neighborhood to show how to get to the grocery store. Once I actually, got settled in, I went grocery shopping, which was quite an experience because everything in the store was practically in Japanese writing. You can easily pick out what's fish, what's bananas, what's tomatoes. That stuff's pretty basic. But when it came to finding, cooking oil, that's where it got a bit difficult. The whole experience is pretty fun. It took me maybe about 45 minutes to actually find everything I needed for my 2 to 3 days in Kyoto. And it wasn't even that expensive. They took major credit cards. And yeah, it was probably for 2 full bags of groceries. It was probably about $50 to $60, including cereal, fish, bread, oil, things like that. So it was pretty good. So that was pretty much all I did on that day. The next day, I went to Arashiyama, which is where the bamboo forest is. You've probably seen pictures of that. It's a very beautiful area. It's pretty mountainous as well. There's an area up there where you can go see wild monkeys. So a pretty nice area. I met 2 other solo travelers who were from Australia and South Korea. So that was cool meeting them too. After that, I also went to the Fushimi Inari shrine, which is a big shrine that has orange torii gates with black kanji writing on them. And it's a really beautiful area. Met 3 other people that were also traveling from Germany there too. And we got to meet up later on in the trip. When I was finished there, it was getting pretty late. And I heard about an area in Kyoto called Pontocho, which is a street-long area filled with restaurants, some with even varied cuisines, maybe even Western cuisine, where you could go in and sit down, have dinner, from pretty cheap, probably under $10 for a meal, to something probably way more expensive, maybe a whole meal for $50 to $100 per person. So I went there, very beautiful area, and it's right next to a little river area, and it was pretty well lit up during the evening, so it was really nice. So that was day 6. I did a lot of walking around that day. My feet were pretty sore by the end of the day, to say the least. But I kept going because Kyoto is a very historic area. It's one of Japan's old capitals from long time ago. So there's a lot of history and temples in the area. On day 7 was my last day in Kyoto, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna definitely see tons of cherry blossoms. So I went to the eastern part of Kyoto, and went to Ginkakuji, which is the Silver Pavilion Temple, Philosopher's Path, which is pretty close by as well, which is 1 kilometer long of cherry blossom trees. It was a bit windy that day, so the cherry blossoms were falling and blowing all over the place. It was really beautiful. So after about 1 kilometer long of walking, I went to Nanzenji Temple, which was also very peaceful, very beautiful. You're going to see some pictures of all this towards the end of the video, but it was probably, it was spectacular. It was just so beautiful going there. And then I went to a souvenir shop and pretty much caught the train home from there. So that was my day. Those were my days in Kyoto. Kyoto was probably one of the highlights of my trip just because there's so many temples. It's really beautiful. It's very different from the traditional Tokyo busy city fashion life. But it was really beautiful, and I saw lots of cherry blossom areas. So next you're going to see some photos and even videos from my time in Kyoto, and I hope you enjoy them. Cool.